In the adrenaline-filled world of NASCAR racing, every turn, every moment is a battle between man and machine, where speed is king and danger lurks around every corner.
He had been cutting it.
Trouble.
Big. That's gonna be big.
Casey Kane gets turned around.
How many's it going to collect? Oh, what a vicious crash. Eric McClure.
Join us as we dive into some of the heart-pounding world of NASCAR and some of the worst crashes the sport has ever seen. Just like the 1996 race at Talladega.
Inside, that's gonna hit. Oh, they touch trouble. Terrible crash. Front of the field, all torn up. Earnhardt's number 3. Head on into the wall at 190 miles an hour.
He almost got upside down. That car got very high off the ground.
And they're going to cut him out of the car. And Earnhardt is on his feet. Dale Earnhardt attempting to walk to the ambulance. Never doubt that cliche about Dale Earnhardt. One tough customer gives the thumbs up as he walks away from one of the worst incidents in his racing career.
Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s car flipped sideways head-on into the outside wall, collecting multiple cars involved in this horrific crash.
Getting chased
And
a
from
little
a
bit.
bad crash over in turn 2, Michael Waltrip has hit the wall hard. The car is upside down, and you can see the car is really torn up. Well, Jerry, I said it's sort of on its side, or, boy, yes, it is upside down.
Car begins to slip and slide on the outside and contacts the concrete wall nearly head-on. The car is sawed in half by that concrete barrier there. One of the most spectacular and violent crashes I have ever seen, Ed Jarrett.
Jerry, I've been involved in auto racing for more than 30 years, and I don't remember ever seeing a car torn up this much.
This is probably one of the most destructive crashes I've ever seen in NASCAR. Michael Waltrip's car just disintegrates after he hits the outside retaining wall. Waltrip was knocked unconscious at the moment of impact, but was luckily able to regain consciousness and was able to walk away after this crash. Ricky Rudd has one of the most wildest crashes he's had in his entire career at Daytona. His car spun to the inside wall, hitting one of the dirt barriers that was being held up by a wall, flipping on its nose end over end until it came resting on its wheels.
The NASCAR Winston Cup Series rolled into Kansas City like a Midwestern twister, gaining momentum with each cycle, cutting a path of destruction through the point standings. Victim number 1, Sterling Marlin, who hit the backstretch wall hard, just past the halfway point of the race. He finished 33rd.
Contending for a championship, Sterling Marlin looked to have his first championship in sight. But during the Kansas Fall race in the 2002 season, Marlin hit the wall so hard he actually injured his neck and was unable to compete for the rest of the season.
Anderson. We talked about Jordan being in the field, and there is a lot of fire.
On fire, but get out.
Oh, man. Get that thing stopped.
And that's a big hit.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
That was, he didn't know where he was.
Yes.
He couldn't see
Couldn't
where he
see.
was, and he knew he had to get out.
Jordan Anderson has one of the most horrifying crashes after the truck came to rest on fire. He ends up trying to jump out of the truck and ends up landing on top of the safer barrier wall. Thankfully, he did not land in between the wall and the truck, or this crash would have been even worse.
Team on the bottom, Rex starts in front, he runs in the back of the 24, gets up on the 11, now he's on top of the 55, and now it's just along for the ride. Watch the car stop, it gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like that's 30,
2,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. And you see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
If you're a NASCAR fan, you most likely have already seen this clip multiple times, but Austin Dillon flies into the catch fence at 190 miles per hour, coming to a dead stop and landing back on the track. The entire car was disintegrated by the catch fence, and even the engine fell out.
Here comes Davey Allison to the bottom.
Davey Allison on the inside of Kyle Petty. They touch here at the stripe. Allison wins. Davey Allison wins the Winston, but pays a huge price.
It was like watching a foot race, and everybody's running for the tape. And as soon as you hit the tape, you see runners fall down and relax because that's where they're at. And we just got together.
We won, but then it went bad. I mean, we've had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
This was the race that the winner was sent to the hospital. Davey Allison hit his head on the concrete wall coming to finish the 1992 NASCAR Winston. He ended up winning the race, but unfortunately had to be rushed to the emergency room after this horrible wreck.
Spectacular last lap crash at Daytona in the Xfinity Series. Myatt Snider up and over into the catch fence. The engine shoots out of the car. Luckily, he walked away.
Waits till the last second and picks up.
He goes to the outside. Is Edwards going?
Oh, no!
He turns him.
No!
Oh, and that destroyed the front end of Newman's car.
No!
Edwards will not make it to the flag.
Oh,
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Unbelievable.
Carl Edwards' car destroyed, and Junior's protege, Keselowski, the winner, and Carl Edwards is moving around and ready to climb out.
Larry, look at that. The carburetor's gone off.
It's completely gone.
Carl did what he wanted to do. He stayed at the back all day long. He played it smart. Had this race possibly won. Not now. Not sure where Carl's going. Maybe he thinks if he runs across the start-finish line, it'll count.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
He's like a you know how he is. He's an athlete, a marathon runner. I want to finish the race.
And he did, to a standing ovation from the crowd. Shades of Ricky Bobby.
Take these glasses off, it kind of reminds you of Beetlejuice. But I promise you, it doesn't look like that from the inside.
Take them off.
If y'all want to see it, I'll show them to you, but it's ugly.
He's got a shot at Austin Dillon here.
Yeah.
Oh, sideways.
That's Ryan Blaney going sideways. What a save and a hard hit. Nose first for Eric Jones.
Oh, did you see those back tires up off the ground? What a huge hit.
Right on top of you. Right on top of you. Still there. Keep coming. You're clear. 120. Keep coming. Come on. He's wrecking. Johnson's out. Johnson's out.
Blaney's on the inside in that 22 car, and it's just going to step out on him.
Got a little too much of the apron there, and the 20 was coming by and just pulled him around a little bit, and he just was able to not keep off of him.
Anything else there?
Now the drafting assistants will change lanes, and now trouble. Stewart is in trouble on the backstretch. Stewart's car up in the air.
Everything goes into slow motion when you're watching, and we had the big screen TV behind us, and you see it happening, and you know your car. You can't see the number, but you just know your car.
It's a big wreck on the back straightaway.
During the 2001 Daytona 500, Tony Stewart got turned down the backstretch and flew into the air and over multiple cars until he was hit by multiple cars and his car finally came to rest in the grass.
This is a short track.
This track races like a short track. Tight turns, stop and go, forward bite. Watkins Glen is fast. A lot of speed.
David Gilliland is in the tire wall at turn 10. This will be a full course caution.
Man.
The first one of the day. The two-time Southwest Tour winner here went in deep into the tire wall.
Yeah, he
running
knows her.
21st.
Knows her into those tires.
The window net is down, the indication to safety personnel that he is okay. We talked about what a tough, fast corner this is. Have a look.
Just gets out wide here, and once you get off the track, you're done. And wow, what an incredible, I mean, that's a sudden stop. And look how he knocked all those tires loose. That's huge.
And we've talked about turn 11 being the slowest corner at 30 miles per hour. That's one of the fastest parts of the racetrack.
Yeah, I got to think something happened to that car.
David Gilliland told his crew that coming into turn 10, the left front tire let go. Between turns 3 and 4.
Because something happened to Greg Biffle, the 16 car that triggered all this.
I believe, watch it, see if it's Harvick's car. Oh, no, it's the 22 car.
Scott Wimmer.
Look at him just spinning around. He got up on his nose and come back down on his wheels. Boy, that 04 turn, she's mean, boys.
Watch the 22 of Scott Wimmer, the yellow car, take a wild ride here.
What started at Greg Biffle came down in the 10, or the 10 went up to Greg Biffle. They got together anyhow.
The luckiest man there was Rusty Wallace. Got a little tap but kept on going.
Now watch Wimmer. Over once, twice, 3 on his nose, 4, wham.
Huge.
So initial contact, the 10 and the 16, right there.
Looked like Biffle in the 16 actually came down into Scott Riggs in the 10. And Darrell, when you're flipping like that, it probably seems like eternity, don't it?
Oh, listen, I can't tell you what it does to you. You just pray that when you stop that you can remember what happened.
I think Scott Wimmer will remember this one for a long time.
This is one of the wildest flips in the Daytona 500 I've ever seen. The 22 Caterpillar car gets on his nose and pirouettes until he lands back on the ground. This is one of the most craziest and honestly wackiest crashes I think the sport will ever see.